Marto, welcome back, mate. What a weekend you got. You got your Bronx versus your Cows tonight, and then you got your Reds versus your Brumbies tomorrow. So if you had to pick one out of those, that was your must-win, have to win. I don't mind as much if we lose the other. Which is it?
Well, it's the Reds, mate. I played for the Reds, so of course I want them to win. And if they beat the Brumbies, it proves that we are perhaps, as in the Reds, we're the best team in Australia because the Brumbies are the benchmark, as you saw last week down in Melbourne against the Blues. So, because the Reds have got a fair bit to prove, mate. After that first week we got whacked by your Hurricanes, we came back. So, Broncos, mate, she's a long 20. There's another 26 weeks to go. They'll survive if they get beaten by the Cowboys, but the Reds need this, and Brad Thorne needs it. I don't know if I've had that chat with you, but the jungle drums are beating over here. Do you believe there's people talking about sacking Brad Thorne?
Oh, stop it. Brad Thorne. If Eddie Jones, mate's got any brains, mate, the first thing I'm doing is I'm getting Brad Thorne alongside.
Well, mate, I've told you of my love for Brad Thorne, and everywhere he goes, there's a winning trail left behind him. Quite simply, if the Reds want to get rid of him, A, they're idiots, but B, either the Dolphins with Wayne Bennett or the Broncos will drag him back and go, that's the style of human we want at our club. So I don't know where this talk is coming from. These power brokers go, Brad Thorne didn't win again last year, let's get rid of him. Why the hell? It might mean that you haven't got very good players. I hope he finds out who's trying to sack him.
Greg, do you know what it is, mate? Do you know what it is? It is and look, and I'll say this because, and I'll say it with love in my heart, but with scorn in my voice. It is a bunch of 20-year-old millennials in the marketing department, mate, who are just obsessed with social media and trends and influences and things. And these are the people that are now charged with making these decisions. The CEOs duck for cover, mate, and they go, what do you think we should do? What do you think? Well, the first thing we should do is get a guy with pink hair and a feather boa who actually plays the drums and get him in. You know it, mate, don't you?
Mate, we keep seeing it time and time again. You know what? If they ran every club, Wayne Bennett wouldn't still be alive as a coach at the age of 73. They would go, you had a couple of losses that season, we had to sack you and you'd never be back. But there are some people still with a bit of fortitude in the football business, and thank God for that, mate. I hope Brad Thorne does survive. It's unbelievable that you and I are talking about it. So hopefully the Reds win. Hopefully the Broncos win. Hopefully me Dolphins. What about
I love
them?
me Dolphins, mate. We're all on the Dolphin train. Don't worry, mate. When anyone sticks it up those fancy pants Vaucluse mansion pool in the backyard and the front yard tosses from the eastern suburbs of Sydney, we love it.
I didn't know Kiwis hated the Roosters too.
Everybody does. Mate. This is brilliant. Of course we do, mate. We've always hated them. Knock.
Who's there?
The crowd that turned up in Melbourne for the Super Rugby round.
Oh, I know. I tried to talk it up to you last week. I'm sorry. I'm ashamed of the whole thing. All right.
But it's the administrators, Greg. Let's. I mean, this is again. These are these bozos from the marketing department. It's the same crowd, mate. It's the ponytail with the.
Do you know the marketing company that put it on was a Kiwi company?
Oh, okay.
So you've got to wear some of the blame for what happened there. Mate, it's a great concept. Yes. Don't you reckon? It's a wonderful concept. Played in the wrong place. And
played in the wrong place.
That now. Yeah. That was a stupid place to play it. You got to play it in. Well, not even Brisbane. Brisbane doesn't love rugby enough. I don't think Sydney does.
Take it to Perth.
New Zealand.
Go to Perth or go to New Zealand or go to Fiji, because what's obvious is that they don't need.
Oh my God, that's it.
Fiji. Yeah, and we'll go to dinner and we'll broadcast it from there, mate.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine the tourism dollars? There's got to be 10,000 people, and the Fijians are the best thing that's happened to any rugby competition. You introduce a Fijian team, they're spectators straight away. They are the greatest fans in the world of rugby, the Fijians. You're right, that's where it should be.
Greg Martin is with us, Triple M out of Brisbane. So Latrell Mitchell last night plays for Souths against Penrith. He comes off the field and a teenage kid yells out, "You're a black dog, Adam." Greg, every time this happens, and it happened with Adam Goodis in the AFL and stuff like that, my first reaction is I'm just stunned. I'm stunned that somebody's actually got that inside their head and that they would yell it. And then I think, my God, this teenage boy, where did you get that from? Who's influenced you in your life, or who have you been around?
From his old man.
Yeah.
He got it from his old man. Did you hear? Do you know his old man had to deal with the police and the security and stuff? The young bloke pissed off. He ran. He did the runner. Left his old man to explain it, and that's probably good because his old man's the one who's planted those words into his mouth, hadn't he? And the other thing is, what's he doing at a Rabbitohs against Penrith game in a Roosters jersey. He's obviously an enormous dick anyway, so get rid of him. They're talking about banning him for life.
Yeah,
so
look, I always kind of think if you're that age, maybe give yourself another chance. And I suppose the only good thing that comes out of something like this is that every time it happens, we might be one step closer to it never happening again. That's the only thing I can think is positive about it. And
that's exactly what people then talk about it, and a lot of them are blokes my age who talk like that because their parents talk like that, but smart people can change, and that's exactly where it should be heading, mate, and I hope it is. It shouldn't exist.
No. In any walk of life, and I'm all for fans giving each other jip and giving the players jip and all that. I love all that stuff, mate, but we all know, don't. All right. Aussie are off to the World Test Championship, so whatever happens in this last test against India, that's to get India, which you should be playing at Lords with a nice bouncy pitch and a few seamers, mate. Yeah, come and get some of this.
Well, what's going on? Aren't you guys? And sorry, I'm not all over. I'm all over Australia, India. Aren't you guys playing Sri Lanka somewhere?
Well, this is the thing, we are, mate. But it's kind of like after the England thing last week. It's kind of like, oh, you're right.
Nothing can match it.
Yeah.
But no, if Sri Lanka beats you, don't they go and play us in the grand final?
Okay, that's like saying, I'm sorry, that's like saying when the Wallabies beat the All Blacks and win back the Bledisloe. Stop it, mate. Come on. You've been around sport long enough, mate, all right? No, I've been around sport so long to know anything's possible. Anything's possible. That's why we watch it instead of watching reality TV. All right, if anything's possible, that means that Eddie Jones, mate's going to bring Quade back, mate.
He did say going to bring him back. Did you see the interview this week? Where he virtually said, we'll build the team. He virtually has said, we're building the team around him. And I know this is weird, and I don't do a lot of social media, but I do follow Quade because I've been trying to check out how his Achilles is. He's been down the Gold Coast for months now amongst the bosom of his family. God, he's looking fit. He's done all the work, apparently, and he's about to go back to Japan today, I think, to start playing. Eddie wants him, so he'll be in the number 10, and it'll be probably be like 2011 when he first played Test footy.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Kicked it out on the full to start the semi-final, mate. Yeah, he decided to actually pick on Richie McCaw. Out of all the dumb things to do, kick it out on the full and then tell Richie McCaw he's no good, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't the wisest
it wasn't
for
the smartest
for a bloke who was born in New Zealand, was it?
Yeah, no, he probably looks back at that like...
But he's older and wiser.
Yeah, we all do, mate. We all get older and wiser. Hey, Supercars as well, kicking off this weekend. There's so much sport to pack in. Are you looking forward to these Gen 3s?
Mate, I am. We had a good chat to Mark Scaife this morning, and he explained it all, because apparently the Chevy Camaros, they were a lot faster than the Mustangs. I didn't know all this. So they had a session last weekend at this airfield out in the bush in New South Wales, where they had to tweak, close some valves, open some up. So they're now actually, which is quite weird, but he said that's important, that the cars are all exactly the same. Then we find out who the best driver is.
Yeah.
Mate, I've got a lot of bogan in me. I love the
we love it, mate. And I know that there's always these calls every year, you got a hybrid and they got to be this and that. Look, there is a place in the world for piston pumping, engine thumping, petrol sniffing, isn't there?
Of course there is. Where are all the limpy people in society who have fallen off motorbikes? Have I ever spoken to you about this? The years when I was doing supercars for Fox Sports, and I've never seen a bunch of spectators who limp more than supercars. They've all either been in serious car accidents or fallen off motorbikes. Oh, God, it's funny.
It's great, though, isn't it? And it's still as popular as ever. Or it's even more popular now.
Oh, gone crazy. Oh, mate, because I often go, where are they going to get the next generation? And there's always another generation being bred of car hounds. Mate, they love it so much, and Newcastle's the perfect place. So, Supercar, what a weekend.
Yeah.
Supercars, Super Rugby, NRL, throw something else in. Oh, no, AFL starts next week. It starts to get really clogged up.
Okay, all right. Well, it's, you just got to say to her indoors, don't you, Mrs. Marto, the season started. I'll be seeing you next year. Is that how you do it?
No, I told her that 2 weeks ago. You know what happened on the weekend, though?
What?
She went to her first ever NRL game with me.
And?
First time she's ever been to an NRL game. We live 5 kilometres from Suncorp Stadium. First time ever. She's never watched a game of football live since I stopped playing. Went to there. She thought that was the greatest. The Dolphins game was the greatest thing she's ever seen. We're now going out to see them play again tomorrow. It's incredible.
Brilliant.
2 weeks in a row.
Brilliant.
She had a smile on her face. She said, "How long has this been going on?" I said, "Since 1908." Oh, God bless. God bless.
God bless, mate. Have a super weekend, won't you, bro?
Yeah, cheers, mate.